episode of Speakers of Heidelin is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our supreme and master speakers, Omeji Cat Comet, Erisu Yamakawa, Circa Barrakheel, Remy Asalia, Alex Franco AV, Winebow Brood, Psyche, Asuta Starbreeze, Cletus Oreo, Nina Grimsdottir, Arcadia Lunashine, Nat Clay, Lily Black, Bob Cece, Mikta Rabentau, Sapa Chakwatol, Edwin, Umbral Wind, Quick Levin, Pamela Isley, Camille Grinno, Elenriel Maximus, Codrith Novelist, Mira Miri, Bay Barbalay, Suno Chicano, Celestao Notrell, Lazy Boy, A Bag of Dragonite, Luke Osborne, Pandaloo Storm Arrow, Tex, Yowie Wowie, Kai Lin, AJ Brainswordson, Anathus Moonscar, Arthur Law, Iridan Derard, Psypup, Spencer Christmas, Noy Fafnir, and Cheshire Saltiri. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/speakersxiv. Thank you.
This is Speakers of Heidelin.
Good evening, Aorcians. Welcome to Speakers of Heidelin, episode 298. I'm Lukiel Bravestone, and I'm joined today by Georgi Wiston, Mail of Anadar, and Rollo Des. Hello, welcome. Hello. Today is May 7th, 2022. Can you believe it? We're in May already. It is episode 298, which means we're 2 episodes away.
Oh, that's pretty good.
From 300 episodes.
So that'll be the 21st of May.
When is this going to stop? When are we going to be free?
At 300.
365.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
365, so you can watch one a day for a whole year.
Yeah, we'd be like, yeah, and then we can have like a gimmick to be like, we're going to rerun one Speakers of Heidelin episode every day for a year.
I mean, do you have every episode?
No. No, actually I do. I do have 1, 2, I think maybe 3 is missing. 3 might be the mystery episode.
We'll re-record that.
But 1 and 2 are audio only. And I sound very Norwegian. So that...
God, your accent was so thick.
Yeah.
Sure was. Well, it didn't help that I only had Vero with me, another Norwegian with a thick Norwegian accent. So, you know. All right. Anyways, today's main topics. We have a interview again. There's probably gonna be a few Yoshi-P interviews coming up in the coming weeks. But we have an interview with Yoshi-P. Sorry, The Verge interview with Yoshi-P that we will be going through. There was a Nier live stream yesterday, and we will. There was some interesting stuff that he dropped there.
Mobile games.
Yeah, gotcha games. Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
The franchise.
And today we're going to try to clear out some of our MogMail inbox, so we'll be reading that as well. SpeakersXIV.com/MogMail. Stay tuned for the post show if you're watching live. We have questions from the Syndicate that we are going to read and answer. And that's that. We have one channel update, which is, of course, again, Eurovision. Now this is the real deal. Next week is the actual Eurovision. So we did the countdown on Tuesday, which I think was a success. Now on this coming Tuesday we'll be covering the first semi-final. So now it's actually happening.
This is proper.
Yeah, so if you
no jokes, okay? There'll be no jokes or anything.
No humor, no jokes. This is life or death. We will be handing out you'll be able to score entries just like you've done in the past coverage of this contest. So if you are a patron and you missed last week, you haven't actually missed the contest. The contest starts on Tuesday, and the final is on Saturday. So even if you can't join during the week, Saturday is the grand final. That's the most important one. So keep that in mind. Yeah. And on that note, that does mean that the podcast will not broadcast on Saturday. It will instead...
Oh, no.
Yeah, episode 299 will be on Sunday, May 15th. So keep that in mind as well. So if you don't...
Thank goodness, it's only episode 299. It would have been awkward if we had to push back episode 300.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. We
Are
need
we
to...
doing anything for 300?
I was just going to ask that. I don't know.
Yeah, Rollo.
What? Am I making something this time? Because if you tell me to, I will.
Well,
300 clips to celebrate 300 episodes.
There are a few traditions. So first of all, we already have like a Full House intro that we can only use on Twitch because YouTube dings us, so we can't use that. And then I guess just a clips compilation, maybe. I already have. I don't know.
Hundreds of new clips.
I mean, Lucio has so many compilations. I mean, he has one just in case if we die.
Yeah.
Little clip show.
Yeah. I do.
That one's good.
Yeah. I have a button. Have I said this before? But I don't have it here. I have a button for if if the queen dies or if the king dies.
That's also
my
necessary.
king and Mela's queen.
Is that like going to shut down the stream or something?
Yeah, we go to black and it cuts the mics, and then it just shows a picture of the regent. So
That's respectful.
yeah, it's
I
respectful.
hope that happens on stream. Then I really hope it
You
does.
better be ready. All right. So there you go. Anyways, I don't know how we. Oh yeah. We don't know what we'll do for episode 300. We usually don't do much with like big dates. Like we didn't
we're
really.
more about like anniversaries than.
Because this year's anniversary would be our 8th. Oh God. That's not really like an exciting number.
No.
But that does mean that when not Eurovision, FanFest in 2024, that will be our 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
That's
That'll be a nice way to go out.
Yeah,
We have to go to FanFest for that one. I mean, how could we not?
that's true. That's true.
It's
should
like
have
Corona
Speakers Con.
Super.
Yeah. Speakers Con. All right, let's move on. That's it. Eurovision Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Podcast on Sunday, the 15th. All right, let's move on to recent events. Yes, in recent events, well, it happened. Ultimate is down.
Right.
Yeah, Neverland, World First, Dragon Songs Reprise, down. European, I guess that's important to note. An EU group.
I think the team was
mixture
like half Americans, like half EU.
Half.
But did it happen on an EU server? That's what matters.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. It was Chaos Data Center, I believe.
Oh, it was. There you go. Well, that is supposed to be the raid DC, I guess. But yeah, all right. Parts of a certain group from Ragnarok as well, right?
Ooh.
I believe so.
Yeah. It was a couple of days later. I think an NA team downed it, and then a JP one shortly after. So it's been cleared by like all three, like first, second, third, are all like different parts of the community. So that's nice.
Longest one to clear, right?
No.
No.
No, it was all the way back on Monday, so it took what did you say, like 2
I
weeks?
feel like it's been on forever.
Yeah.
It does feel long.
Days. It will. I think 6 days. I think
Yeah.
just under 7.
Yeah.
Which is the second longest still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is good.
It's a very
Yeah, I was
long
gonna say-
fight. It's like an 18-minute fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, chat's correct. Come on out, Oceania. When are you getting your first day?
That could be you. You
Right.
could be the world first Oceania clear.
No, it won't. I can guarantee you it won't.
Yeah. But
I'd be surprised.
it was a
It'd
very
be
good...
nice though.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oceania. I don't see why Oceania wouldn't. I mean,
There's no, yeah.
yeah.
They finally
they'll
can
do it
compete with the
eventually.
better ping. So
Yeah. Yes, so yeah, good fight. We talked about it kind of last week, but now we've seen it all. It's
Those weapons look terrible, by the way. I'm so sorry. That's your price.
I like the
I
weapons.
think they're kind of ugly.
some
The
of them are good.
weapons.
Yeah.
I'm pro most of the ultimate weapons. These ones I think are they're nice. I mean, if you don't like over the top glowing weapons, then you won't like them.
I mean, I guess if any weapon's going to be obnoxiously glowy, it's going to be an
Yeah,
ultimate
exactly.
weapon.
Yeah.
So that I understand, but
So
the color choice is weird. It's like peach.
Yeah.
I like it.
Like, I don't think of Heavensward when I think of, like,
Peach.
Peach.
Yeah, the
It's
Kurth and
just weird.
Peach.
So, as someone who hasn't followed this that closely, I've heard that you can get more than one ending based on the decisions you make throughout the fight.
There are
Is this
multiple. What is this
true or not?
fight? I don't know. I haven't heard of
There are
that.
multiple paths. I'm not sure about endings because I think some of the choices you make may take you down routes that either go back and repeat earlier stages or just kill you.
Mhm.
I think the correct method is you have to spare Thornton because then he enslaves Racevelger, and then
Oh,
Yeah, okay, so that's what I
takes
heard,
their
chat,
eyes.
that you can choose. It doesn't actually matter whether you choose to spare or kill Thornton. Either one would result in a victory ultimately.
okay.
Pretty
I don't know
pretty
if that's
bleak
true.
timeline, by the way. Still, like, first Velger dies if this was that reality. So I think that's still rough.
Yeah, it
Pretty
is.
cool though. Dragon King Thornton's pretty badass.
It was a cool
Yeah.
design.
Really cool model.
Yeah, it is.
That phase of the fight looks bonkers.
They put
Yeah.
so much effort into this element, way more compared to any other one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah, it was good. And I'm not, some will probably complain that it wasn't the longest because it was so,
I don't mind about the length of the fights. I care more about just enjoying the race, and like almost all of them have been pretty much untainted.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there were no data
except
mining.
for like Uwu was the bad one. That was the data mined one.
Yeah,
wasn't it,
Uwu
with
was
Woke?
ruined almost.
Uwu got ruined
Well,
by that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ultimate Weapon Ultimate is the only one that is also the fastest to clear. Like
Yeah.
as a result of that.
Yeah.
So that was disappointing. But this time it's been pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
Their mechanics a lot better now.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So congratulations to the
Well
teams
done,
that have cleared.
Neverland.
Yeah.
Congrats.
And everyone
Congratulations.
else who's cleared.
Yep. All right. There was a Nier stream where Yoshi-P had an appearance. He made an appearance.
Say that it's Nier Reincarnation, the hit Square Enix gotcha game. All right, that's what it's about. Don't just say Nier.
Rollo, I believe it's actually pronounced near left square bracket in right square bracket carnation.
That's
I
right.
am
Honestly.
surprised that game is still getting updates and how much money they're throwing at it because there's not a lot of depth in it.
No.
Is that the one with that little
Well,
cute
if people
ghost?
play it,
Yes, it is.
Yes, there's a little
think so.
ghosty.
I like the ghost.
Her name's Mama, or is it Mom? Something like that.
That's cute.
So he came on primarily to promote. There's a crossover event between that game and 14.
Yeah.
Well,
They're getting loads of 14 stuff. We're
Yeah.
luckily getting nothing because I'm done with Nier in 14. So it's
Yeah.
fine.
they suggest that we could get some things.
I'd like the
yes,
weapon.
we are.
I mean,
we're going to
there's-
get to that, but yeah.
There's still stuff to do with Nier, is the thing, because they didn't resolve some shit.
That's
True. But they've made it convenient to leave behind because it's sort of like on the first, we don't need to go back there and do anything anymore.
Exactly.
Okay, so he did, in addition to talking about the collab, he talked about some other things relating to 14. So Yoshi-P brought up the housing lottery bug, which he said it is one of the biggest bugs since the start of Final Fantasy XIV. Right now, they're still making checks in order to safely fix the lottery data. Due to lack of sleep, Yoshida says he's lost weight recently.
Oh
So-
no, that's sad.
kinda sad.
Don't-
Yeah, because I don't think we've...
don't do. It's not that important, man. I'm sorry.
no.
It kind of is, because when we talked about this, I don't think we 14 doesn't have stuff like this happen. Like,
No.
that's sort of been like its
No.
big point of pride is that it came out like it rose like a phoenix, and then it was just never bad, right? It was just, we just kept adding new shit, and it worked. Even though we had to wait for some of the stuff to come in, it finally arrived and it worked. This was like that first big dent, which could damage their reputation. So I can see why, and especially for Yoshida, who's so... Imagine how personal this game is to him now. Like, this is his baby. 14 is his
Yeah.
baby. So, yeah, I can see how he... But, yeah.
And that's That's not even including like his regularly scheduled workload, which includes being the producer of 16 and also being on the board of directors.
Yes, yeah. And I wonder if he thought maybe like, oh, I've been like working too much on 16 now. Look, the team is like,
maybe.
I'm not keeping it together
I wouldn't
enough.
dig that far into it.
No, I don't know. I just feel like he is very. This is important to him.
We'd have gone through about 3 or 4 cycles of the lottery by now.
Yeah,
if they had worked.
it's true.
3 or 4.
3.
Something like that. It's 9. It's a
There's
9 cycle.
A
Isn't
9-day cycle.
9
I
day
guess so,
cycle.
yeah.
It'd be like
3 sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy. It's been that long. It feels like it only just came out.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I hope he's not smoking too much. Please, please stop
Well, I
smoking.
can guarantee you he is.
He's smoking more than ever
right now.
He's lighting the next one with the ashes of the old.
It's good to have passion, but maybe not detrimental to your own health.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me.
Yeah.
Don't burn yourself out.
Yeah. Well, at least this I feel like the way that they've dealt with the bug hasn't damaged the brand or the reputation. The fact that they decided to go back and actually fix it and give people. The easy fix would be, okay, well, some houses weren't sold. Too bad. We'll just re-roll them. No, they actually went back and were like, no. We're going to find out who won. And they will actually get to that house. So I like that. All right.
So wait, you have it? No. We don't have a chance to get.
No, we lost to a 3.
We lost.
Yeah.
No, we lost fair and square.
Yeah.
But we'll have a chance on the next time because there'll be 3 plots probably still. If there is
definitely be 3 plots. There'll be tons of them. I mean, there are 18 wards dedicated to FCs.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
There'll probably be other ones to put your hat in the ring.
Yeah. Okay. When things calm down, he'll consider holding local fate meets again, like those. Looks like these were fan events in Japan. Oh, I remember those, where fans could meet the staff, compete against each other to beat extremes. It's kind of like it was. I think we've covered them it's been a long time since they last did them, but they're essentially fan fests without the keynotes.
Mini fan fests for Japanese people.
Yeah.
But not as not like the fan
conventions.
gatherings.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
Lame.
I might still be going to conventions in this day and age, but that's just me.
No. He also has to start work on planning the next fan fest. So we know that works. That's how it works. They start like 2 years before the next one to plan them. Wonder what they're gonna be like. Are they gonna be like just normal? I guess it's 2 years from now.
Yeah.
It depends if something crazy happens or not. We can't.
I mean, no, because we're expecting the game out in 2022. 2024, aren't we?
So it surely would be winter 23.
Start in 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's right.
So there'll be one in like November, December, and February.
Yeah.
Please don't host it. Don't do it in California again. I'm begging you, please.
Do it in London. Do it in London.
Oh,
For the NA one?
I have started to spread fear in Mela's heart, and I think Georgi, by suggesting that maybe it won't be in London next time. Maybe they lost.
If you do it outside of the UK, do it in Germany or a Scandinavian country.
They're never doing it in Scandinavia.
Do it in Amsterdam.
Do it in a Scandinavian country. They're going to do it. They're going to do it in a country where where one of the languages is supported by the game.
Well, that's a surprise, right? It's going to be in like Madrid, and it's going to be like, oh, new announcement: Spanish dub 14 is out, guys.
Hey,
not Madrid.
Maybe we'll get Belgiumed.
I
wouldn't
wouldn't mind going to Belgium.
You can get a train from London to Belgium.
Yeah, I can do that too.
I don't know if I want it to be in Switzerland. It sounds expensive.
That's how I feel about the California. It's too expensive for what it is. Vegas was a little bit better, I think, than Cali, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I feel like you're one of the few people that would say that.
In terms of like the experience of being there, I would rather be in Vegas than in Cali.
Okay.
You got Vegas in your blood, Rollo.
I don't like the aesthetic and feel of Las Vegas.
No, it's so cheap.
Oh, come on.
and weird.
It would be so great. We'd be hanging out together, walking down the street, and then some hoot and hollering man would be like, "Hey guys, take you to a club. Get in my car. Come on,
No.
I'll take you to a nice club."
No, that's the thing I hate most about Las Vegas, the roving club recruiters.
I hate that. I don't. That gives me anxiety.
Nikhil would probably go with them.
Yeah,
he
because
just-
I'm so polite and scared. I'm like, yeah, yes, sir.
No.
Hey you, large Nordic man, I have a car that needs fixing. Come with me.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyways, moving on from FanFest, Nier Reincarnation's Mama and Carrier, etc., could be minions.
I'm
the
okay
future.
with that.
What are they, Rollo?
Mama the Ghost, right?
Yeah, Mama's the Ghost. I don't know the other one. I've dropped off that game. It's not fun.
I wouldn't mind a mama minion.
Nier Reincarnation Carrier.
Carrier is that like?
Oh, it's
game's
that
pod.
little black postman ghost.
Oh, okay. I see.
Evil Mama.
It's
Yeah.
evil mama.
All
But he
right.
has like a little cap and bag. He's pretty cute.
Reincarnation and Final Fantasy XIV's Dark Apocalypse are quite important parts of Nier, it was said during the stream. So
That's what I've. So all those
finally,
people that were saying
redemption.
that, like,
Yeah.
yeah, they were saying like near the All Hard Dark Apocalypse is not going to be canon. Of course, it was going to be. You're dealing with Yoko Taro.
I mean, we have canon stage plays, so I mean, like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
But every
yeah.
time we talked about it, Rollo, there was someone in like there were multiple people in the comments going, "That's not canon." Like, yes, it is.
There's
Yes, it is.
if you want to know what actually happened at the end of Nier Automata, you have to buy like 2 books.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I enjoyed the little deep dive I got into Nier lore when I read the comments for this about people talking about the implications of this being confirmed canonical.
It's
Mm.
like,
About the Warriors of Light seemingly actually beating the Red Girls is actually quite important to would be
oh,
quite
absolutely.
significant.
Yeah.
That's
That's the crux of the Drakengard series shit, which is,
yeah.
Yeah.
and then the stupid Watcher eggs and the egg of death, like
I think that was also something people brought up, was that like this really confirms the connections between Drakengard, Nier Replicant, and Nier Automata. Like really brings them together in comparison to what it was before, where they were more scattered to a certain extent.
Right.
I mean, there was always like tons and tons of hints, so I guess it's just more, fodder for the fire.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. After coming this far as 14's producer-director, he feels he wants to challenge himself how much further he can go. So, yeah, that's sort of like that's good. That's healthy. He wants to like push.
Mm-hmm.
He still wants to push the game.
He should make a gacha game. That's his next challenge.
Oh, good idea,
Yeah.
dude.
Called Final Fantasy 14
I just got a shiny
Battle
toy.
Dog.
I don't think a gacha game is the kind of game Yoshi-P would want to make.
No, he's actually,
No.
even though he's not like outright said it, you can read from a lot of the stuff he says. He's not a big fan of that.
Oh,
he's
no,
not a
he's
big
old
fan of
school.
gacha or microtransactions and stuff like that.
You can make good ones if you try.
Mm,
If you try, you
Oh.
can make ones that aren't exploitative.
but
too.
why?
Yeah, considering how much he
Less
apparently
money.
pushed. Well, considering how much he apparently pushed back internally against Dream Fitting and how we're only
Yeah.
just getting it now, I think is another sign that like he doesn't like
Oh.
these kinds of predatory like money-making schemes.
Mhm.
I'm seeing the really dark timeline in my mind's eye right now where they make Yoshi-P make a fucking NFT game.
Oh, that.
I
just
don't think he would do that.
did you hear?
They made him. I'm saying.
Did you hear what Square Enix is doing? Like they're. Square
Yes,
Enix
I'm
is-
surprised it was in the docket. I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be.
They're doing the NFT thing now, like with a lot of their IPs.
They sold so many fucking IPs.
Mhm.
They sold Tomb Raider, Avengers, and
They did
Deus
sell
Ex.
Avengers.
Legacy of
Did they?
Cain.
Did they?
Oh,
No, I don't
if
think they sold
was on
Avengers.
that.
No, because that's not even an IP they own. I think
No,
they
well,
sold
there's
Legacy
something-
of Kain.
Yeah, Legacy of Kain.
Yeah, they sold Legacy of Kain, Deus Ex, and Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
All good for the series, I would say. I don't know this new company. I think they're just a big conglomerate collecting IPs, but it's a better fate than what's going to happen.
And they're doing it now? Like, now that, like, who fucking
Yeah, I
cares
know.
about NFTs anymore? Like, feel
Don't
like...
you agree that's very Square Enix though?
I know. And
It
then they're
is.
going to be like, oh, we're losing money. We don't know why. Okay.
Yoshi-P,
Listen,
make another
this-
game.
This is coming from the company that moved their headquarters because a fortune teller told the CEO to do it, and they did that.
Yes.
They moved their headquarters.
Yes, they did.
What's wrong with that?
They make some weird decisions over there, and then then they complain when they lose money, and they're like, "We don't understand what's happening. I guess people just don't play video games." What do you mean?
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure in like 2 or 3 years' time, the Square Enix headquarters central point will be a big glass jar like Genova with just Yoshi-P in it, having his mind sucked out into different games.
I mean, I would say that would probably be Nomura.
Yeah, that's true. True.
Video game companies fucking suck like every other company, but there's something specially bad about Square Enix I just fucking hate. I like some of their games, and their developers are cool too.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty incompetent.
Fucking rancid company.
It really
Yeah.
it is. I'm a little worried because I'm getting some like early like Konami vibes from them, which I don't like because we all know what happened eventually with that company. I just hope someone wakes up there at some point.
I think there are too many important people on the board of directors right now to allow that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You would need to see some of them exit those positions before I would be truly concerned.
Yeah.
Please reel in your CEO. He is not very good with technology.
No.
I think the
very
NFT
insane.
craze is kind of...
And he was brought in after a crisis to save the company. Remember, he's the like post 1.0 CEO. So it's kind of wild what's going on.
Reminder: you can fight him in Nier Automata. So if you want to take out some stress,
True.
you know what to do.
Okay, well, hopefully that's the last thing we'll ever hear of NFTs on this channel, because it's funny how that just died. Like, I feel like it's dead now. Maybe.
I hope it is dead.
Yeah, I hope it is.
I sure keep getting ads about it, though.
I do, yeah.
Buy my new frog NFT.
But that's because they're so fucking desperate now, Rollo. They're realizing,
They are
oh
very
my
desperate
god,
right
all
now.
my life savings have gone into this
I
fucking
don't-
monkey.
Yeah. I don't want to get so far ahead to say that it's dead. I suspect
No,
it's just
but
like
it's
an
dying.
oversaturation point, and it might balance out, but who knows?
You're buying
Feels vindicating
something.
though.
You're buying something that has no value. It has.
No.
It's a digital. We've had skins in video games for decades.
It has no value,
Are a
and
fool.
it's very environmentally damaging.
Yeah.
Listen, no, the tulips
Purchasable.
this season, they're gonna sell.
Mm,
Just you wait.
yeah.
Are you talking about purchasable skins in video games?
Yeah.
Or just...
Oh,
Okay.
okay, Georgi. I'm sorry that I didn't give you a specific number of years. Let's say 12 years. Will that
there we go.
that will vibe with you? All right, cool. All right, moving on.
Decades implies at least 20, which I can guarantee you.
It doesn't mean at least 20. It was a ballpark
thousand.
So
number.
pedantic.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Decades implies more than one. Otherwise, it would be decade.
When did Team Fortress 2 come out? 2007. Okay.
Yeah, but
Alright,
they didn't
maybe.
start without skins, Mailer.
Yeah, but still.
Yo, fuck
Continue thinking.
NFTs. This shit sucks.
On Final Fantasy 16, this is quite big. Moving on from that, on Final Fantasy 16, this is Yoshi-P just kind of dropped this during the stream. On Final Fantasy 16, the trailer is complete, but due to various reasons, its public reveal has been moved. He thinks it could be made public soon. Currently, the team are in a polishing stage of playtesting, debugging, and balancing. Nier producer Saito has apparently seen the trailer and said, "You made something amazing. The effort of the dev team has been tremendous. They're working hard with incredible enthusiasm."
Well, something else I've read about this on a similar note is that the interview that he gave for the Uniqlo anniversary T-shirts, apparently the PR team was not happy with how much information he gave away in that.
Not the shirts.
Well, about 16.
Not
Yeah.
the shirts.
Oh, about
what he
16,
said
sorry,
about
okay.
16.
Yeah,
Yeah. He said he got a cold email or something from the boss.
yeah.
But what's the point in stalling it?
Yeah, this is such a mysterious. Maybe that's what they're going
I don't
for.
know how 16 plays, really. and I would like to know how it plays ahead of time.
Because part of like getting increasing sales is to trickle out information about the game to get people aware of it. Because right now I feel like it's only the core Final Fantasy players that know that 16 is happening. Like the common man is not aware of like 16.
I suspect it's still about a year away.
Probably.
I mean, in modern game development, like debugging and like that kind of stuff can take a year or so.
Yeah.
Even
Probably
if
2 years for PC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, it's currently not coming out on PC until at least 2024.
Please, I don't want to buy it on a fucking console. I'm sorry. I don't like playing on the PS4.
They might be stalling, like I see in chat, like for some sort of like event to present it instead of just dropping it on YouTube. I guess
that's fine.
Get more eyes on it.
But they said the next time they show lots of information, it'll be basically being released just around the corner.
Well, they said the next time we'd get information would be April, and guess what month it is? Not April.
That's true. They kind of.
I mean, I'm not pressed about
the
that
ball on
kind of
this.
stuff.
But the thing is, what's clever is that because they've not really given us anything, we can't complain because they've never given us a date. They've never told us, except that they said it is right around the corner last year. Like they gave us the impression that it would be like, oh, it's out soon. It's almost done. You'd be amazed by how done it is.
Sure, but as you get like runaway speculation, it ends up people
Stuff like this
make their own
happens.
opinions.
Stuff like this.
Yeah,
I guess that is fair chat. We did get information in April with the Uniqlo interview.
yeah, but they haven't. They're not out until like.
No,
and
but we got
Yoshi-P
the
was
interview
told off
mailer,
after
and that's the news.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. His mother praised his appearance on Japanese TV with
Shikajiri Sensei.
Yeah, last month. Not long after that, she was surprised when he had an asteroid named after him.
I didn't know he had an asteroid named after him.
Is that like a meteor reference? I guess.
I guess so.
That's neat.
Yeah.
That's cute.
So
Hope it was by an astronomer, not some like bullshit like
it
star
was
naming
by
company.
no,
Yeah.
Rollo. It was by an asteroid.com.
all of that is dumb though,
those
because it's not really named after you. You get a
No, what?
Yeah, having asteroids
No,
or
it is.
stars named after you is about as real as having an NFT.
Yeah, exactly.
It is the biggest scam.
No, it's definitely named after me. It's
And the official ledger that every other company claims to have the official ledger.
Yeah.
Oh, it has to.
Yeah, from the Space Council, the
I
Intergalactic
paid
Space
£400.
Council. Yeah.
For those that don't remember what Shikajiri Sensei is, that's the TV show that we talked about a couple of weeks ago, where they bring in someone in a professional field to explain to a bunch of comedians what they do in a very layman's comedic manner.
Yeah. He said it was worth
make games for idiots.
He said it was worth the cost since the number of new players seemed to have increased after it aired. What do you mean by cost? Like the work he had to put in?
Emotional cost?
Did he have to pay
I
for
mean,
it?
like, I imagine he sunk time cost.
Oh, time cost.
He has to put effort into preparing it
Mm-hmm.
outside of like what he'd normally be doing.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go. That is what we got from the Nier stream. That's worth talking about.
Ooh, go play that gotcha game. It's an auto battler that's not very good, but has a lot of effort put into it. I can't imagine why.
I still need to play that weird card game that he made.
It's a good card game.
Oh yeah,
The one where like the world is made of cards.
Yeah. It's
That
a
one
really
looks quite
basic.
decent.
It's a basic RPG, but it's like surprisingly good. It's like 4 or 5 hours.
Is it that
And
short?
costs like £45.
Yeah. It's a full price game, isn't it?
It's not full price, surely not.
Isn't it? I don't know. I don't
It
know.
No,
can't be
it's like $30 American. So
Okay. All right.
half price.
Now for something completely different. This is just a funny little.
What an interesting way of describing it.
Yeah. It's not funny. It's a fun fact is the word I'm looking for.
Why is Sastasha in SOP?
Yeah.
why are you in soup?
Well, yeah. Why Sastasha in soup? Stranger of Paradise is a very long word to fit in that slide. I didn't want to
That's
deal
very
with it.
fair.
Not actually the name of the game. It's Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin.
Yeah, that's right.
So it should be
Sadly-
full.
Sadly, not a very successful game. 'Cause
No.
no one was asking for it. Go play it though. It's pretty. It was looking
No, it
good.
was fun. It was.
I think it's surprisingly good.
It is
Like,
a fun little story.
Yes, I think that's the thing. The problem is when something is surprisingly good, not many people have bought into the concept originally.
That's true.
Listen, do it. Jack says funny chaos.
I would say
It's very good for like the first part. The bosses are well designed. Then it tails off for ages and ages and ages,
There's a little bit of padding in there.
and
yeah.
then it becomes pretty good.
Well,
right
the padding in the middle is because it gives you like 8 stages that are all about just going after the 4 fiends.
It has
yeah,
some problems.
and they're
Like
mostly quite easy.
I don't like the equipment system in this game.
Oh, it's awful.
It's pretty bad.
It's like Borderlands.
It's like Neo 2 is the thing where they just throw shit at you constantly.
Yeah, and it's like it has this like affinity system. But you literally, so you say you play as a paladin, you can get gear that has a certain affinity with paladin, and that's good because it gives you increased paladin stuff, and you can actually literally unlock skills because if your affinity is above a certain level. But when you get so much shit thrown at you, you can't like go through every item and manually equip. So you use auto-optimize. Auto-optimize doesn't give a fuck about affinity. So the affinity system's just thrown out the window if you use that system. So the alternative is to literally sift through your inventory, through your hundreds of gear pieces to find the No. That should have been done.
Max the most out of your time.
Oh, it's
Number go
so
up.
bad. It's so
Yeah.
bad. That is bad. But the story is really funny. Like, it's actually funny sometimes, the way...
It's funny and it's better than it deserves to be.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. So
It definitely seems more self-aware than you think.
yes, yeah. But yeah, one of the questions...
It's not canon.
No,
I'm
well,
saying that right now. It's not canon in
I
my
think-
Who knows,
eyes.
Mela?
In my eyes,
I
it's
would
not
say
canon.
that it is because there is no... It does not disrupt the... Well, without spoiling, we're not going to spoil it here, but without... Like, we can say that it's linked to Final Fantasy 1. It does not mess with the story of 1 because it happens before 1.
It doesn't mess with the story, but I can't reconcile it in my mind.
Well,
It's just a funny side game.
no, I think it ties in perfectly. I think it explains the character more.
I mean, and also, what is the canon of Final Fantasy? Every game is its own universe.
That's true. Sakaguchi did give it his blessing, didn't he? And he's the guy who
did,
made
but
the game. So
Yeah, the thing with that, Yogi, is then you get stupid things like Omega, who goes between the games, and then it starts turning into this weird web of.
well, that's
interlinked
also
games.
canon.
Yeah.
Omega
I know
is
it's
canon.
canon, and it just
Gilgamesh as well.
Yeah.
Which is also
Yeah.
weird because the Gilgamesh in Final Fantasy 15 is not the Gilgamesh that we're used to. It's a different one.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
Yeah.
I don't know. I just see them as separate games. It's easier.
Mela's very like
It is.
it's the hardcore purist over here.
Yes.
Jesus. They
It's
are
not
separate
necessarily-
games.
Trying to be
it's-
purist, it's just I don't need this extra information. It doesn't help. It
No, you
doesn't
don't
That is
need
true.
it,
It's-
but it's like
It's simpler to not
exists.
have to think about these things,
Yeah.
but it is fun to
Oh,
talk
God.
about.
Sorry, an aside. Did you guys see the Tifa statue that came out recently? I think we have to acknowledge that real quick.
Is it related
This
to
is
the
not a Final
Eren
Fantasy
Yeager one?
7 channel.
I know.
Well, I know why he's. Oh,
but-
you haven't seen it? It's something. It is something.
I'll
I
show
might
you
have seen it if
afterwards,
it's from
Yeah.
that website.
It is. Wait.
I've seen it. It's-
Rollo's definitely seen it by his reaction. So
Yes.
Yeah. It's.
It is. That's someone's grave she's doing that on.
Yeah.
Oh, with the sword?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that. It was on that website Yogi linked.
What on earth were they thinking? She's what?
Well,
Is it another non-official statue?
No.
Yeah, it's
No.
not official.
no,
Is it?
Tifa actually did that in the game. I saw it.
Is it
No, that's
non-official?
not what I. Just
It's,
because
it's from that
whether or
website,
not it
Yogi, so
happens does not
nothing on
make
it
it
means.
official.
Yeah, nothing on that website's real. They're all like
Nothing-
fan studios.
Okay, so it isn't a real statue.
It's not
Consider
Square
them,
and it's
like-
approved.
Consider them like dojins, but for like physical.
Yeah.
It's like that other statue that we looked at yesterday.
Yeah, it's from the same website.
Oh, it's literally the same. Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
It should be official. That should be in the Square Enix store.
The Tifa statue. Okay, so this has turned. It's turned into a PSA instead.
I'm with you.
The Tifa statue is not official. All right. Anyways, back to the actual story here. For the win, got I guess it's
so genuinely
for the publication for the win they've had a chat with Naoki Yoshida.
With Yoshida.
Yeah, it is Yoshida. He told so this is from the publication for the win with who are they're quoting something that Yoshida told Good Luck Have Fun, GLHF.
Why are they all named like this?
Gamers.
I love video games. Yeah, don't you, kids?
It's very nested, this story. But all right. So Final Fantasy XIV... the Bright Blue Caves of Sastasha, Final Fantasy XIV's first dungeon, make most longtime fans groan. Not because it's bad per se, but more that seasoned adventurers have likely run through it countless times, even in Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. Final Fantasy XIV director Naoki Yoshida told GLHF that Team Ninja wanted Sastasha as the MMORPG's representation in Stranger of Paradise precisely because it's such well-tread ground. For this collaboration, I received a proposal from the Stranger of Paradise producer team, Yoshida explains. Apparently, they chose Sastasha because it would be familiar for many Final Fantasy XIV players, and it worked well with the setting and overall variety of Stranger of Paradise. Yeah, that's essentially it. The rest is... So, there you go. That's why they picked Sastasha, because it's the one that most 14 players would recognize. And that makes sense. It's your first dungeon. So even if you never even if you just picked up 14 and did up to level 30 and never played it again, you'll remember Sastasha because it was the first dungeon you did. So I can see why. But
still think there's some better choices here.
Oh yes, for sure.
If you want something memorable, you could have done Steps of Faith or I don't know.
Yeah, Steps of Faith. That would be interesting.
I think they would want something from A Realm Reborn.
Yeah. Yeah,
it kind of needs to fit in with the pirate theme.
Aurum
They could have
Vale?
picked Praetorium, but Praetorium is already in... Oh, Aurum Vale. That's an optional dungeon. Praetorium's already in Dissidia as well.
Yeah.
They would have had to find something else, because it's where you meet the captain.
That's true.
It's where Bika is, and it has to have... If FF1 made you go and find the pirates at the beginning.
That's true. So there you go. That is the answer to the question very few people asked, apparently. So, but there you go. That's why.
I mean, I asked this. I was curious as to why they picked Sastasha.
Yeah, but we just mentioned this wasn't a very popular game, so very few people asked this question. I was shitting on Stranger of Paradise.
That's bullying.
I know. I'm sorry. I like the game. I think it's a great game. You should try it. Okay, moving on.
There's a demo.
You
don't have to buy it.
That's true. There is a demo, a free demo. And that's actually just it's a timed demo, isn't it?
It's at least the first 2 stages.
Yeah. No, it wasn't timed.
Which lets you do Sastasha.
Yeah,
which is one of the 2.
Oh.
And if you decide to actually get the game, it'll save it. It'll save where your progress, and you'll just continue from there after you've bought the game. So seamless.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move on. It's time for your MogMail. This is from Alyssa Rose from Cerberus. With both the latest MSQ patch and the bonus stories from Shadowbringers being based around and finding ways to travel to the 13th, it currently seems like the next expansion could have us traveling there like we did the first in Shadowbringers. With so much of the source still to explore, traveling to the 13th seems far too soon. I think there is a way we could get both, though. Have us make some forays into the 13th via the Void Gate in Thavnir to test the talismans warding through the deep dungeon system during Endwalker. Then in the next expansion, we can still head to the New World / Marasidia for the main story, with us using a Eureka / Bosnia system to explore the first and set up forward camps and get a better grasp of the situation there, possibly setting up the Void for an expansion later down the line. How would you feel about doing it this way? P.S. Hydaelyn Zodiark Arc. Hydaelyn Zodiark Arc. Hydaelyn Zodiark Arc. Thank you for that. Right.
I agree in that it's too soon to be traveling to the 13th. It feels like when there's so much to do on Aetheris first. Some people have suggested we'll wrap up this Void line of quests within the patch series, which is fine as long as that doesn't conclude the 13th as a location.
That's also how I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like this story with the 4 fiends and Golbez is a self-contained story that will take us through the patch cycle, and then whatever happens with the 13th, I think won't be the thrust of the next expansion, but will be, if not a zone, at least will be part of like maybe even the equivalent of, as Alyssa says, their Eureka for 7.0.
Yeah.
That could work.
I can see that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because they said that we were gonna focus more on like our own planet. So it would be weird if like the next expansion would be away from it again. I
would really like it if the Deep Dungeon would incorporate that, though. I can't think exactly. It will either be that or Loperit based, I imagine.
Yeah.
It could be an Ultima Thule. Ultima Thule is a location that has no logic to it, so it would be quite easy for them to do whatever they want.
That's true.
That is true.
Yeah.
Also, actually, that big tower in, the place, Elpis.
Oh, yeah.
Catesis Hyperborea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we saw a bit of it, but we didn't see all of it, and it would fit the bill for a Deep Dungeon.
Yeah.
Considering Elpis is our jumping off point into the Unsundered world in general, they could just have us start it there, and then they take us anywhere else in the Unsundered world, and that could be used as an excuse for the Deep Dungeon.
That's true. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. No, I think you're onto something here, Alyssa. I think that's probably likely some of this, and I want some of this. I don't want the next expansion to be Void too soon, and also like we just sort of started a brand new adventure on like our planet, and now it feels like we're just gonna leave again. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it's Marasidia or New World next. So
it's kind of well tread ground too. Like I don't want to be the warriors of light, bringing light to the darkness. Yeah,
it's essentially Shadowbringers just reversed. So yeah.
Would you do Void Bosja, Rollo? Void Eureka? I know you love.
I love Bosja.
Void Eureka.
Not Eureka.
Let's move it back to Eureka then. Let's bring back that wheel.
No. I don't think we're ever going back.
Why though? They specifically moved on from that because they know people didn't like it.
Yeah, that's not coming back.
Give it another go, Yoshi-P.
No, this is in the ground.
That was Bosja, Mailer. That was their other go.
That was their
Third
other
time's
go.
the charm.
Bosja is the improved version of Eureka.
No, Bosja was fine.
Yeah, well,
you just gotta make it easier to do by yourself.
They need to make the relic a more integral part of it as well. I think the fact that
make it less ugly looking.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Bosja is set.
I know it had to be that way.
Yeah.
Let's go for something more colourful.
Okay, thank you, Alyssa. Next, MogMail coming up. Oh, it's from Cafe, from Ragnarok. Hello, speakers.
Who's this?
I finally have a question for you. 6.1 spoilers ahead. Oh, just in case. So cover your ears. So as you can tell, it's been a while since we've checked our inbox, so we'll see. So cover your ears if you haven't done that part yet. The figure we see at the end of the last cutscene is clearly Zenos' avatar. We discussed that last week. Do you think it's going to let us use its body to safely walk across the 13th shard? As much as I'd hate that, it would be a fitting payback for what Zenos did in Garlemald. Take care.
Sounds
so like the
a
opposite
fantasy.
of how we get void sent to our world, where we need a vessel. Like,
Yeah.
it would let us use it as the vessel.
That
I
is
mean,
an
I think they've
interesting
already-
theory.
It is interesting. I wouldn't be against it, but I think they've already proposed that we're just going to go there.
Yeah, it does
with
feel
the
like
little
maybe.
talisman.
Yeah.
The one
Mhm.
person who never had their soul ripped out of their body and taken to the first was us, though. Everyone else seems to have the ability for their soul to be like taken out of them,
That's
And-
true.
taken across the ethereal sea, but we
Well,
never had
everyone-
that happen.
We could have had that happen to us. The reason it didn't is because Graha was specifically seeking to pull us
Yeah.
out, body and
Oh,
soul.
that is true.
to
Yeah,
them.
that is true. I suppose it technically could happen.
Like for example, if Graha was trying to reach out to, I don't know, Alphino, the same thing would have happened to us.
Would
True.
Well, I guess we'll explore that in the next patch possibly. But do we need the warding scale? Do we know if we need? Because we
I don't think we do.
didn't need it in Zot, so
But this is more of like
Oh, no,
an
you know
ethereal
what, I think-
imbalance, though.
Yeah,
rather
I
than
think
temporary.
we would, because we can get overwhelmed with light, so I don't see why we wouldn't be able to be
Yeah.
overwhelmed with darkness.
true.
We can handle it better than like Nero could, but
We can disperse it if we fight a strong enough entity of the opposite aspect.
Yeah. We had the echo. We still have the echo though, don't we? We don't know if that's
No,
gone.
yeah, I believe she says that.
She
I believe
leaves her
Heidel-
with that
I
blessing.
can't remember if it was.
It leaves us, I mean.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was specifically said by Heidelin or if it was said in
In an interview.
an interview
I
with
think.
Yoshi-P afterwards, saying that that was like her final gift to us, that we would keep that forever.
Her final gift to her
to
children.
pass.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so we still have it. Well, that's probably something that they'll touch on in the next part of the story. Okay. Well, thank you, Cafe. I don't know. I think we don't have to do that. But there's definitely going to be something interesting with that avatar, and I'm kind of excited to find out. All right.
Avatar will give us more Zenos lore, considering we still kind
Yeah.
of have mysteries about him,
Yeah.
to be honest, and it would be a way to give us Zenos lore without Zenos.
Yeah, that's right.
maybe
The best deal.
it won't be our soul that will be pulled into the avatar, but it'll be Zenos' soul pulled from Ultima Thule into the avatar.
It's quite far for the Avatar to pull it,
actually
because
Zenos again, and he's back.
no, I don't think
he's
that's
the-
happening.
No.
Zenos is back, everyone.
Can't keep getting away with this.
Why do you keep trying to say this? Why do you hate people?
Okay.
Because
Well,
it's so funny.
that's thank you, Cafe. Next, a MogMail from a Rogadin name you guys will butcher. All right.
AJ Brainsworth.
Excuse me.
Theory.
Mailer would say it fine.
Sure, that's true.
Yeah.
Theory.
And Flifflin.
Theory. The 12 were created by the ancients to tend to the duties the
Convection.
Convocation abandoned with the creation of Zodiark. While I admit this theory does not line up one-to-one, I bring this fun bit of trivia to the table. Hades in Greek myth was also known as the Wealthy One. Also, that Null Thal song is a certified banger, holy shit. That's true.
It do be slapping.
It do be slapping. It's true.
I don't hate this idea. The problem is that there's more people on the Convocation than there are in the 12.
I think this was like one of our earlier theories about the 12 was that they were.
By how many though, Georgi? By one.
Yeah.
If you count Nalthal as two people.
Yeah. This is the.
And who is the leader of all of the gods? It's that secret last portal.
I know. Yeah. There is a secret there.
But
There
I am
does seem
still
to be a
against this
mystery
because
portal.
I hate more ancient stuff. Come on, guys.
I
Stop.
agree. I do agree. But I think
Ancients are just the new Ascians, which were also ancients anyway.
Mailer, they said that the 2 raid series would be the epilogue to Endwalker. Would it not
that
make
is
sense
true.
for them to continue on that plot line?
I think they're just
Everything
ancient
they-
themselves. I think that one's easier than. I don't know. I don't think they're constructs. I just don't think that would work out as well.
You think they're ancients themselves
Yeah, I said this last time.
that
Are
avoided,
sundered.
that avoided the sundering?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would rather
I don't-
just be actual gods.
I don't mind that.
I know it's
as
unlikely.
much.
It's probably the least likely, but
Because
I just want a little bit more fantasy in this Final Fantasy.
unsundered ancients would literally be as gods for the people.
That is true. Well, that makes sense why they're like this. Then.
Yeah.
The problem I have with that is that Nelthal does not seem like a person.
No, that's true.
Well,
They
not
can
all looks like
transform into whatever. they
yeah.
want.
He looks like one of the ancient transformations, like Hades does, or
But then why did the other three not?
Hermes.
Mm.
I don't know.
Maybe
it's-
maybe they have
I
Gogi
guess-
and they chose buff men and a hot woman.
yeah, my transformation would be big thighs. And I don't like it.
The recent theory that I had was that they are ancient constructs, but they were made before the Sundering. They survived the Sundering, except for Nelthal, who sundered a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. It's I'll be disappointed either way. I think the 12 have been like so high up on my like what I want list that there's nothing that's gonna make me satisfied
Well,
here. I'm just
They've made the mistake of explaining what gods are,
yeah.
and then going in depth. So it's like, I honestly, I think I would have been fine not knowing anything about the 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chad is right. They're probably in all likelihood aren't ancients because Emmett Selk specifically says that Azem is the last of the ancient kind.
that's true.
once
He could have been
passes on.
lying to you to keep you some, adventure.
Emmett Selk does not lie to us in the last.
I do still have
in his
like
last minutes.
a part of me has this tiny hope that the 12 were just something that Emmett just couldn't figure out, and that's how he knows about them, because he studied them and tried to like, and maybe unsuccessfully, like he was not able to like figure it out. But he does say did he say true identity, like true?
Yeah, he says the true identity.
Yeah, again,
that's
that
the
makes me
thing.
think it's a person. Like it's someone.
Yeah, because
you know?
construct, like, I guess they do have identities. You could say that Meteon is, you can...
I mean, like Meteon has an identity. They treat us like a person.
Yeah.
In Elpis,
Yeah.
they believe construct can have identities.
yeah.
I think
I don't know.
forgot what I was saying.
I'm holding
I
out that
noticed.
I'm holding out that it's ancients just because I think it's more interesting than if they were just constructs.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was what I was thinking. That what if they are constructs, but they're constructs made in the form that like true primals are made, similar to how they turned the Heidelin crystal into like primal fuel. But this was back during the first, before like the first calamity, so they did it accidentally.
Accidental prime.
And then like primals without like the tempering.
So that they're like
Yeah.
like in essence they are actually gods. Yeah, they were made by people, but they weren't given like tempering power because the Ascians hadn't informed them about this. They were accidentally made.
I could
Yeah,
accept that.
I would accept
that.
that.
Could be interesting
There's also this like
because
weird.
that would make them godly.
There's also this weird link early in the, like, I know that referencing the actual mythos is pointless, but well, not always, because they can decide to be able to go, oh no, part of that was like dictated by the gods themselves. They just told them what to write. But the Elysian are so like, they claim to be descendants of those
Descended
gods.
from the gods.
So there is a weird link with the Elysian there, and I mean, they're tall people.
Yeah, maybe Ellison found like murals from the ancients, because we know that like even despite the sundering, like buildings and stuff from their time existed.
Yeah.
Maybe they saw statues and stuff and like they look like us.
Yeah,
Ignore the
Wow.
fact that their ears aren't the same.
right. Yeah,
They don't look anything like that short person over there.
right, exactly. Yeah.
Where's
There's
the
a
elf
link.
supremacy coming from? Though?
I don't know. That's weird. Okay. So, oh yeah, sorry. We were talking about the Convocation and the 12, and the next MogMail literally touches on that, I guess, in a little more detail. So we'll do that one as well, because we're on to this topic. Nope, wrong MogMail. I've loaded up the wrong MogMail. I'm so sorry.
I'm in the dark.
We've left in the dark. This is called the crit.
That's the void.
Yeah, this is critical.
Oh,
This is
Mela,
a
don't touch
critical
me there.
moment.
No.
There we go.
Wow,
From Cafe from
Purple
Ragnarok.
Rollo.
Here is another one. We know that the 12 were around pre-Sundering 2. They cannot be creations, since those were strictly regulated back then, unless it got regulated after their creation. Some, if not all, have similar roles to the seats in the Convocation, like Logrif and Nofika, Metron and Limlane, Emetselk and Thal, Ultima and Byrgot, Igiorm and Thaliak, Azam and Oshan, Oshmela, excluding Elidibus, because it's Oshan, Azam and Oshan, excluding Elidibus, emissary of the Convocation itself, and splitting Nald and Thal roles. We have 13 on both of the Convocation and the 12. What if those 13 plus 1 seats were made to mirror the 12? Maybe because of their god complex, they tried to emulate them. Or if they really are creations, maybe they gave them roles like overseers to better preserve and nurture Aetheris, to make it a garden for humanity, like one of the many heavens. I don't know. I just want all the lore. Yeah. See, this kind of tracks a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's the thing called again? It's not called Olympus. What's the one in our game called?
Phantom Zone or something?
Yeah,
what did they come up with?
Phantom Realm.
Because it's not a Glyros.
No, the translation is the navel. It's something stupid though.
Yeah, the navel.
What was it? Come on, chat. You're looking it up right now to try and appear more intelligent.
Omphalos.
Thank you.
Oof.
So Omphalos could be in a similar vein to Elpis. Elpis was made as a testing ground. Omphalos could have been created as like the like you say, the overseeing ground or something. And maybe they made them there, or they became them there. I don't know.
It is complicated.
I feel like it's so obvious to make them the ancients.
That's why I don't want
It's
them
such
to
an
just do it.
obvious
But
move.
I feel like they've locked themselves in too much. I don't.
And
think
you can
they
put them as the Convocation, or you could put them as the Heidelin people. There are many ways to divvy them up.
There's also the kind of thing where like you can't just change something because it's the obvious thing. Like, wasn't that the case with like? Well, there was a TV series where that was the case, that their script was like leaked, and then they changed it entirely, and people said that what they changed it to was worse than what the leak was.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones? Doesn't that what happened?
Was that Game of Thrones?
Was it Game of Thrones?
It might.
I don't know. They just had that thing where it's like, they guessed a lot of things right, so we're going to change it because we want.
Yeah, I think you're right. They did it out of spite. Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
It might have been The Walking Dead as well.
Yeah, Walking
see,
Dead.
like I don't like that, like that kind of reactionary like story writing.
No, I agree with that.
That's why.
If that's what it is, then that's what it is.
That's Rob's right. That's why I hope that they had the foresight to not to do that with this story, but we'll see.
Well, the thing is, we didn't really talk about it today. The 12, or at least the symbols of the 12, existed in the ancient times.
Yes.
We know that because of the astrologian weapon from Catesis Hyperborea. And we know that was also made specifically for that dungeon, and it's not a reskin from anything else, because the gear itself are reskins from the Hero's Gauntlet, which did not have weapons at the time.
So, the ancients didn't believe in any gods, right? Because they literally were gods. Do we know anything about their religion?
I don't think they would call themselves gods.
No. But I mean, like, if you have the powers of a god,
they believe themselves
would you believe
to be the
in a
highest
higher
power within their world.
Exactly. Yeah.
Actually, that makes me think. Like, what if the 12 just they aren't ancients in what we know as ancients, but are like another intelligent species that was on Aetheris?
Oh my god, the progenitor species to the progenitor species.
No, not that. I'm saying like like nowhere does it says that the ancients were the sole inhabitants of Aetheris, right?
That is
Like,
true.
That's true. And
Actually, why
actually,
couldn't
that's
there
a
be a
good point because they made most of the life on it too, so it kind of sounds like a really stupidly made world if it was just ancients and then they made everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, why can't there be like a different line of ancient people that maybe weren't as adept at manipulating ether, but they were still, strong compared to sharded people or people in the source. So
They
there's like,
turned into the Garleans after the Sundering.
what?
What do you mean?
The ones who couldn't manipulate ether.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Everything sundered, those ancients turned into the Guardians.
Uh-huh. I can see that. I mean, Garlands can't manipulate ether, so yeah.
No. Also, I believe that life existed on Aetheris other than what the ancients made. I think there is evidence that
probably
things
true.
evolved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It'd be like if humanity, like, or humans, like, what if Neanderthals were still around? That'd be kind of a fucked up world.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
I'll
There
be
was a
honest,
time
I've
when
always thought it'd be
humans
great
and
when there'd be a
Neanderthals
second-
existed at the same
But
time.
then we fucked them out of existence.
Well, I'm saying into present times. They weren't extinct.
Okay, then.
It doesn't need to be
Would
Neanderthals,
kill-
but a
would kill them.
second civilization race.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that's all we can do right now. We need to actually get to our main story as well. But thank you for sending in MogMail, everyone. We will be. Also, Neanderthals weren't stupid. Apparently, that's just a
I
weird.
never said they were stupid.
No,
No, but Chad is.
Chad is saying, and they
okay.
targeted you, Rollo. So they already
Why?
knew what you were thinking, Rollo. They knew. He's like, oh, there's that
know.
Rollo. He walks around thinking Neanderthals were stupid. Anyways, thank you for sending in MogMail. speakersxiv.com/MogMail to send some more MogMail. Now, main story. There's an interview with Yoshi-P conducted by The Verge. This is a pretty
Fox in the background.
He's
He's looking
terrified.
into his ear.
He's terrified of this giant Yoshi-P that's just appeared. Right, so The Verge, a walk through the end with Naoki Yoshida. The problem with a lot of long-lived MMOs is that eventually the villains get so powerful that they become absurd. That's the classic power creep that all MMOs have to deal with at some point. But Naoki Yoshida, game director of Final Fantasy XIV, isn't worried about villain power creep. In an interview with The Verge, the celebrated director of the phenomenally popular Final Fantasy XIV MMO shared insight into Endwalker's phenomenal story and why he's not worried about creating an even bigger big bad. Yeah, see, because now he's reset us, right, in 6.1, but you can't really do the same with the villains, if you know what I mean? Like, how do you... We've already seen like the worst of in terms of villains. Like how do you? Are we just gonna start fighting like small little kobolds again?
Yeah,
because that's gonna be very underwhelming.
You can't go back. I mean, we've literally started fighting gods now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. In Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn, the game's final boss is the military general of a fascist nation and an ancient being bent on destruction and death. After that, in the Heavensward expansion, players fight ancient alien dragons who, after years of conflict with the mortal races of the world, are unable to put aside their hate and work toward a peaceful coexistence. In Stormblood...
and erasure.
Yeah, wow.
I like the way this is written. It's
I like how it's written as well, but how dare they?
In Stormblood, the Warriors of Light fought a maniacal despot imbued with the powers of a dragon god. And in Shadowbringers, you fought that despot's...
Zenos like that.
You fought that despot's even more powerful great-grandfather. Finally, in the most recent expansion Endwalker, players face and defeat the embodiment of hopelessness and sorrow. One would imagine, in light of ever-increasing stakes and even an ever more powerful enemies, it'd be tough for Yoshida's team to craft a villain more threatening than essentially death itself. But when I asked him if he was at all worried that he and his team painted themselves in a corner, he simply said, "No." The world is always full of mysteries, Yoshida said via email, and even in real-world affairs, some unbelievably sorrowful incidents do happen. They may not necessarily be from some overwhelming threat, they could be horrors born from personal ideology, or tragedies caused by a concentration of power, or things that arise as a result of beliefs based on religion or education. So as we clumsily try our best to understand and overcome various barriers between ourselves, we're still a long way off from where we want to be. Yeah, it's true. You can make
Pretty deep.
Yeah, it is pretty deep. But
I think they should let us fight the Pope again. I think that was very fun.
just have Thornton just reappear
No.
and be Pope.
No,
the
I
our
wanna
Pope.
fight- Yeah, no, well,
Not Francis.
no. I think
I like
think
Francis.
There should be another game that's like, you know what? Fuck the Pope. Fuck the Church. You should be able to fuck dragons.
Well, that's essentially Heaven's
Wait.
Word.
Yeah, but
He just wants it again. Because Heavensward was the best expansion, so he wants it again.
Okay, thanks for pitching Heaven's Word, Rollo. Thank you.
Heavensward
This
2.
is giving me throwbacks to an anime called Samurai Flamenco, where the scale of the villain kept getting bigger and bigger until eventually they were fighting an alien that was going to destroy the universe. And then the last three episodes is just about stopping like the evil Inhumans themselves. Just like
my God.
evil
goodness.
people.
All right.
Good
Just
lord.
like how, despite how world-threatening things can be, humans are bad. Humans suck.
Yeah. Okay. I don't feel like we've reached a point where they can come up with bad things still.
We should bring democracy to Mericidia.
Hey, we could have another depower moment, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
Metroid gets away with it every game.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's true. Imagine if Mericidia has like the most reasonable government in the world and there's nothing for us to do.
Yeah, they're like a very peaceful little
And we'll destroy
republic.
them and install Ishgardian
Orthodoxy.
culture.
Yeah.
All right. Endwalker's story puts a far too neat to be coincidental bow on plot lines that began way back in 2012. I'm sorry, that should be 2013. I'm sorry, the verse is kind of awkward for you. I'm sorry. With A Realm Reborn. I asked Yoshida if the parallels between A Realm Reborn and Endwalker were a happy accident or something meticulously planned over these last 10 years. Yoshida says, if you were to ask if I ad-libbed it, well, that would be the case, Yoshida said with a translator's note indicating a little laugh. I'm pretty sure it said laughing bitterly.
Laughs bitterly.
Yeah. We were careful to leave room for adjustments to some degree when scattering parts and foreshadowing, which may have contributed to everything seeming to have been planned from the beginning.
No, it never felt like that. And people who... I always get annoyed when people are like, so that's why Estinian had an extra toe or whatever. I've been thinking about it right from the beginning.
Yeah.
I know they added this later on and made it fit. And
Yeah.
that's fine. That's how
They
storytelling
do a really
works,
good job
but
of it, though.
They
They
do
have,
a really
yeah.
good job of it.
They purposely leave like loose ends for them to work off of as
Yeah.
well.
Exactly.
And there probably are also like tiny bits of ideas that they had all the way back then that did make it all the way to Endwalker as well.
That's true.
Yeah,
We don't know what those were.
And I believe that, I totally believe that they will put some foreshadowing in like one expansion as long as it's within that arc. Then I think that they do it. But if there's something that happened in A Realm Reborn that is suddenly being referenced in in like Endwalker, there's no way they planned for that when
Exactly.
they placed that in
100%.
A Realm Reborn. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I'm
look-
sorry, the Morse code thing from Crystal Tower.
Oh yeah.
Super
Yeah.
cool. Really cool connection. That is not.
But also-
they didn't plan media on that far.
No, because we actually know what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be Eureka, which they scrapped
they've said it.
and changed to something else. So, yeah. All right. Yoshida and his team may not be the master long-term planners, Endwalker's story... Yoshida and his team may not be the master long-term planners Endwalker's story might imply, but some elements of the story were crafted to intentionally dovetail with things set in
Dovetail.
Dove. Oh, look at that beautiful dove. Dovetail with things set in motion a decade ago. In my review of Endwalker, I called the game a songfic set to Answers, the theme song of A Realm Reborn, and Yoshida confirmed my assertion.
That's a little bit disingenuous. Right? It's a little bit simplified.
Describing it as a song, I feel like that's a very insulting way of
Yeah. We intentionally created the story to fit the song's lyrics. So yes, that was intentional, he said.
Well, I guess it's not insulting.
He confirmed it. In addition to being an incredible and emotional story, Endwalker introduced new features that put an interesting spin on Final Fantasy XIV's traditional MMO gameplay. For example, in most MMOs, you must complete dungeons with a party of other players. In Shadowbringers, and again in Endwalker, Yoshida's team introduced the trust system that allowed players to complete dungeons with a party of NPCs. The trust.
That's funny. It's like, Endwalker introduced new features, and then it's literally a Shadowbringers feature.
Yeah,
and that's their example.
They expanded on it, to be fair, but yeah, the trust system can massively reduce a player's weight in a dungeon queue, and it is also a great way for them to learn a boss's mechanics without fear of slowing other more advanced players down. Sorry, I fucked that up. Slowing other more advanced players down at the cost of dungeons taking a bit longer than usual. I wanted to know.
Also, reduce a player's weight in a dungeon queue. It cuts it entirely.
It does.
True.
Where's the second feature from Endwalker?
I wanted to know how Yoshida planned to innovate on the MMO format in future expansions.
They didn't write any Endwalker features. What a sentence to
Irrelevant.
say Endwalker introduced new features, plural. State one that comes from Shadowbringers and then move on.
Yeah, they just needed to mention that because they had a good question about the future. Yoshida responded that he's still in the honeymoon phase of planning the next expansion and would like to remain there for now. Things are the most fun when I'm fantasizing and imagining what sort of things I can make, and the process of shaping those thoughts into reality is when it's very painful. He said. So please give me a little more time to enjoy my fantasy. Then tongue.
I agree. That's so true. The best part about writing a story is thinking about the story, and then actually writing it is painful and unpleasant.
It is.
I agree.
It is.
You just, making up the world, thinking about all the things that would be in it, making like a weird history for it, and then thinking, how to actually write a story.
Yeah.
I imagine it works similarly for you and your video projects, Lakia.
It is. Yeah, that's true. All right, Yoshida says, things are the most fun when I'm... No, I just read that. Another facet of Final Fantasy XIV's powerful appeal are the characters your warrior of light befriends and be enemies. In Shadowbringers, you spend the majority... It is now. In Shadowbringers, you spend the majority of the time fighting against a man named Emmet Selk, a powerful, immortal being who wants to destroy your world because he believes it will bring back his own ruined world. But by Shadowbringers' end... and throughout most of Endwalker, Emmet Selk has become a friend, one you can even call upon to help you defeat Endwalker's final boss. As its name implies, Endwalker deals with the themes of closure and endings. Throughout the game, your NPC companions talk about what they'll do after everything is over, suggesting that your time together, as this motley crew of world savers is, after so long, at its end. It's a sad moment because it feels like, once this trial is over, the Warrior of Light will no longer have a reason for existence. Then, Emmet Selk gives you a gift. He tells you that there are still mysteries in the world for you to discover and explore. It's a powerfully moving moment because it's Emmet Selk, a man who had at one time been your immortal enemy, and not one of your many friends who restores you to a reason to keep going. I had to know why the story was written this way, and what that might mean for the Warriors of Light's and Emmet Selk's relationship. Yoshida knew there would be concerns about Endwalker's end. With how cleanly Endwalker reached its conclusion, there may be people out there who feel uncertain about future adventures, he said. That's precisely why I had Emmet Selk take on the role of chiding, like... what's with that lonely look, as though you know and have adventured through everything there is to see in the world? That's nonsense. There are so many views you've yet to see. I've seen them. Now you go see them too.
I like that. That's a very good idea.
Yeah, it's clever.
That is, yeah. Interestingly, the mysteries Emet-Selch shared with the Warrior of Light are now exactly what the latest patch explores. He told you to investigate the mysteries of the 12 deities that Eorzeans worship, and in the Aglaia raid, released with patch 6.1, players will do just that. I asked Yoshida if all of Emet-Selch's Endwalker revelations were a sneaky hint at what's to come in future expansions.
He told us to investigate that, but it's not like we chose to investigate it. They came to us.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
The story,
that's true. Actually, yeah.
The whole.
It's weird how we get into the 12.
We've talked about
really.
that. It is very odd. The story of Final Fantasy XIV has always. What? Because Derek just appears like Phantom Realm, and then Rambo's like, "Oh yeah, Phantom Realm. They found it, huh?"
Yeah. I'm just saying that I think Derek came to seek us out on purpose.
Oh yeah, no. I am with you on that. The story of 14 has always been woven together with a thorough schedule and regular patches, he said. We've always readied our overall plans 2 years in advance, and that hasn't changed this time either. Having said that, I don't think it's necessarily possible to go all the places Emet-Selch mentioned in 2 years, but it sure would be nice if we could visit those places someday. The translator's note mentions a grin from Yoshida, which may indicate Emet-Selch's gift may yet have implications for future Final Fantasy XIV stories, obviously.
May indicate. Thank you for reading into Yoshi-P's emotes.
This is also a message from us, he said, about how there's no limit to the mysteries and excitement that await in all the adventures to come.
Imagine thinking everything he said would happen within one expansion.
Yeah, that's a bit.
I was imagining it to be like many different things would go through in many different, small adventures or big adventures.
Yeah.
We've done 2 of them. We've explored the mysteries beneath the bounty, and then we were starting to unravel the truth behind the 12.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
The Mirror City is next.
Mirror City and the New World are probably one expansion each.
Don't you dare say... Oh, thank goodness for that. I thought you were going to say they're going to be one expansion, full stop.
No.
Well, it's not impossible for that to happen.
How we'll get to like the
Dalgalan.
Yeah. That would be very... Well, they technically did it with Althard and the Far East.
Was a mistake, though.
It was a mistake. They realized it was a mistake. So I hope that they'll just keep, because we haven't gotten that since, like where it's that spread out. But
exactly.
Well, we'll see.
It sort of happens with Endwalker, but the story the zones in Endwalker serve the purposes of the story rather than like to separate the story into 2 separate parts.
Yeah.
Stormblood was 2 stories told in tandem.
I still have hopes for Galmora Cafe because of the way that the stories might be told in the patches. There might be a small Galmora thing happening. Who knows? Oh my god, what if Deep Dungeon is Galmora? See?
It already is.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm talking about?
You're right.
You've already...
I've already forgotten. Well, it can be a different part of Galmora. It could be because we have the residential district.
That is what it is.
That's not all that Galmora is.
Floors is
Galmora is more than a residential district.
Oh, sorry. You were saying that was what Palace of the Dead was. I thought you were saying that we would explore the residential district.
No. That is the residential district.
Okay. Yeah. That's fine. Okay.
Yeah. I just really want Galmora stuff. All right. I'm starving on my Galmora lore.
They're done with Galmora, old man. Move on.
Yeah, it's time for Mach. We want a Marky, Euphemy.
I want more Mach information.
I'm so done.
More Nim.
Yeah, and so a bit of...
maybe.
Let's get a little bit of Amdapor.
I want Amdapor lore. I want Amdapor.
Anyways. Time travel.
I want Amdapor lore. I want to know how they know about Sin Eaters.
Yeah. Are there statues pulled through from the first, like the void statue thing, like with the gargoyles?
Well, time will tell. So please, someone ask Yoshi-P to add Gelmora to the deep dungeon system. I would like a Gelmoran deep dungeon system, everyone.
Well, see, this is why you need to get on Square Enix's good side, so you can at least ask the question that you want, which is, when will we see more of Gelmora?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't give them options to do things. What are you going to say next? Oh, I'd really like a Heaven on High deep dungeon.
What if we have a deep dungeon in like that Jenga tower?
Oh my, groundbreaking right there, baby.
yeah.
Just a
really?
thought. Just a thought. I'm just throwing it out there. And maybe like have some like little mini summon balls with like where you can summon little mini like Titan maybe. It's just clear
That's
level.
less fun now that summoner can actually do it.
I like that.
Yes, go on.
In retrospect, I find it quite funny that Heaven on High was just another elegant thing.
Yes. That's true. That is true.
So that's the thing. So we're just exploring all the ancient civilizations. Of course, the next deep dungeon will have to be exploring something the ancients made.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Okay.
They've stopped being able to use the elegance as explanation for everything.
True. That's true. Okay, well, thank you, everyone. That is the show. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week. Same time, same place. Remember to follow on Twitter.
No, we won't.
No. Big correction.
Different time,
we will
same place.
not be back at the same place, but it will be... No, sorry.
No, it will be the same
place.
For God's sake.
We will not be back at the same time. But
goodbye.
The
We're
same
gone forever.
Because, you know, we're going on Daily Motion. We're going on Daily Motion next week. No, I'm not. Okay. We'll be back on Sunday at the same like time of day. The air time is the same, but the date is different. And the day. It's Sunday. So 15th, see you there. Don't be late. Because we will. That's our job. All right, we'll see you later. Follow on Twitter at XP. Yeah, bye. Have I done the whole thing? See you. Bye.
Yeah, just bye.
Yeah, I'm just gonna buy. All right, goodbye.